What's up, y'all? It's your girl Diana Garcia, and we are back on Shaking the Culture Season 4, Year 4. We're still coming, and I'm so excited for our guest today. We're here with no other than
It's Kevin Cruz, but you can call me KC. I'm an Atlanta native, born and raised. I'm a creative entrepreneur, and I'm a co-founder for a company called 24/7 Artists.
Nice. That is so dope.
Yeah,
When you had hit me up, and I was like, "Yo, let's see what he's doing. What is 24/7? You know?" And I went to your
yeah.
stuff, and I'm like, "Yo, they're legit. Like, you guys
Appreciate it,
are
appreciate it.
so dope." I was like reading through it, and I was like, "Oh, this is dope." And like I told you off camera, I'm like, I went to one of your workshops,
hmm
and your team and yourself, like, you guys are just so united. And it's hard to actually go to a workshop where it's like, we're giving you free game and we're gonna email it to you so you guys have
Yeah,
it. And you guys were like answering every question. The engagement was there. You're dope. You're
I
really
appreciate
dope.
it. Thank you so much. That really feels good. Like hearing that, from the other side,
Yeah.
because like I'm on the inside working with the team and we're planning and creating these workshops and these webinars. So it's like, it's always like a thing. It's like, I wonder what other people on the other side like
Mhm.
perceive it as or see it as. So it feels really good to hear that.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Definitely. So let's start from the beginning.
Let's talk
How?
about it. Let's talk about
No, let's
it.
talk about it. Like, how did you get into this creative world? How did it first start?
Oh, that's a little backstory, but I'm gonna try to make it short. So long story short, I went to college, went to Georgia State, and I went for political science,
Okay.
and I was gonna go for law, so to become a lawyer. So I explored that a little bit. I ended up working at an immigration law firm, ended up becoming a paralegal there for a
Oh
year and a half,
wow.
and then I got really close with the lawyer. I didn't as I got close to the lawyer and I really got to see his life and what that lawyer life is about.
Mhm.
I was like, like I don't know if that's really for me if I want that. I'm still young in college. I got time to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. Let me leave that job. And then I started trying out different stuff in the creative scene. Then I had a camera. I told one of my friends at the time, let's shoot a music video. That ended up sticking. I started doing music videos for different artists in the city in Atlanta. Then I turned it into a business, started getting into different types of videos, like commercials, documentary, like corporate videos. Then that became an agency. So that turned into a creative agency. I started building a team. So I had video editors and graphic designers on the team. Got on bigger projects. That was really cool. And then in 2019, I met the other co-founders of 24/7 Artists,
Mhm.
Yudu and Davina. And funny enough, I started helping them out with their podcast at the time.
Oh wow.
So we developed like a working relationship, and then it turned into a mentorship. And so they became my mentors and were like guiding me like on the business and stuff. And then I would just like call them for like life
Yeah.
and different stuff. So that relationship developed. And then in 2022, Yudu hit me up and, he officially wanted to start the 24/7 Artists and asked me to be a part of it. And so that's how I got onto 24/7 Artists,
Wow.
and then became a co-founder. So
That's
yeah, long
amazing.
story made short. Yeah.
Yeah, but you said 2022,
For 24/7 Artists. Yep. Yep.
and that's not long ago at all.
Yeah. So 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's still like freshly new.
Yeah.
So, kind of backtracking from like you wanted to be like a lawyer and stuff like that. What
hmm
was that conversation like with your parents? Because we
Oh.
spoke about being Latino in this world. What did your parents say? What was their reaction where you're like, Mom, I'm putting down the suitcase and then I'm picking up a camera?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was that conversation
I
like?
already know like all the Latinos or all the, like the sons and daughters of like immigrants are like,
Yeah,
yeah, like we already know they didn't play that.
at all.
But it was actually different for me. So my parents, they were very they never forced anything
Hmm.
on us, on me. I'm the youngest of six kids, so that's why I said us. But they never forced anything on us. They always let us do our thing, figure our own way. So whenever I wanted to try something new, they were very supportive. They were just like, all right, like do it, like you'll figure it out. And so once I left that job that as a paralegal, it wasn't like a big deal.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, okay, well, like see how it goes. Like I support you. So yeah, I know like it
It was
wasn't
the
like any
beginning.
drama or anything
Yeah,
there,
but that's
but
good.
it ended up working out.
Yeah,
So
it definitely
so I
did.
know now they can see like how it was back then, like backtracking, like okay, like it worked out.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. Did you ever like, so you went from music videos to now becoming a co-founder?
Yeah,
What was that like? Did you feel like you were ready? You graduated from college.
yeah,
What
yeah.
was your
Georgia State,
What was your major?
political science.
So you but you didn't go back to like do any business, or that wasn't anything. So you were kind of
Nah.
learning as you go.
Yeah, yeah. I was pretty much self-taught. The school of the University of YouTube. You feel me? Just like
Ugh.
diving in and just doing it. Cause the way I thought about it, I was just like, man, I'm young, right?
Yeah.
Like I want to start a business. I have these aspirations, these goals. Like I can always come back to school, right? I can always come back to school, do the 9 to 5, be a lawyer if I wanted to, right?
Mhm.
But if I sacrifice this time to try to do the 9 to 5 thing or try to, do the right thing or the corporate way or the traditional path, then I don't want to be like 30 and then trying to figure out, the creative stuff and like, because
Yeah.
I was like, that might be harder. So I was like, let me try it now.
Yeah.
And I just dove into it and, all the experience, all the projects I've worked on, all the skills that I built, through that journey,
Yeah.
prepared me to be a co-founder for 24/7 Artists. So it's crazy, but you might not know how the dots connect, but you have to trust that they'll connect in the future. So and you won't see that until you look back, but you
Yeah.
got to keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Throughout that journey, did you ever feel discouraged, or was there a moment where you're like, can I really do this? Is this stable enough for me to
Yeah.
actually pursue it?
Yeah, I don't think there was discouragement from me.
Hmm.
I'm very driven, but I definitely had moments of like FOMO when
Mm,
it's just like, damn, I'm over here like working hard, spending my weekends, staying up late, stuff like that. My friends are out partying, traveling, and especially like once you get out of college, everybody's getting like their
job.
big boy, big girl job, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? They're getting that salary. You start seeing people like traveling, going out to nicer restaurants, kind of living that adult life.
Yeah.
And I'm over here trying to figure out this business thing, like not making a lot of money. Or when I do make money, I have to kind of like, spread it out and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I was still living with my parents at the time. So, like, I'm so grateful to them because, they
That.
allowed me to, like, stay with them and they supported me. And so it wasn't a big deal with them. But so, like, there was moments where I was like, dang, like, I wish I could do that. I wish I could try. I wish I could do that. But then I eventually got to the point, where I could start doing that. In 2021, I was at a point where I was working fully remote. I had a team of like video editors and graphic designers, and I went traveling straight through Latin America for 4 months straight.
Oh wow, that's
So like
amazing.
that was a moment for me, like wow, like it's here, it's happening,
Yeah.
like it's paying off, and like I saw it and I lived it, and so yeah, that was a really good defining moment. Yeah,
Yeah. I feel like everybody looks for those moments where you're like, give me a sign, please. Where it's
yeah,
like I'm doing everything right, and just having the patience, the consistency,
yeah,
being driven and determined, like, this is my goal and this is all I want.
yeah.
Those moments are like, when you get those moments, you finally feel relief. Like, thank God.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so grateful for it. But like getting back to that, because I kind of want to tell people, anybody who's watching this, who's an aspiring creative entrepreneur, that there will be struggle. There will be times when you're like, man, like other people are doing this. You start comparing yourself. You don't know how it's gonna work out, but trust that the dots will connect. And if you have that vision, and if you believe in yourself enough, I know it sounds cliche, but like that's literally the blueprint. Just stay fucking consistent
Yeah.
in that work, and eventually you start meeting more people. You'll come across more opportunities, and then you'll be getting on bigger and better projects. You start making more money. You start having more opportunities. So it literally is just like snowballs. But
Yeah.
we wish that it can happen, in a span of like 3 months, 6 months. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying that that's not possible,
Yeah.
but a lot of times, it might take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years for these things to like even start gaining some type of momentum.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I feel like once you said that, there's like a bunch of brands like the Stanley Cup or like the Patron, like,
Yeah,
like they were created years ago. It's
yeah,
not something that's recent. I was like, oh, this is the new, like, it's been there,
yeah,
So it definitely takes, that might, maybe just 10, 20 years, just
yeah,
keep on having that hope and faith and believing in yourself for sure is really one big thing.
yeah,
Um, I wanted to ask you about, being a co-founder,
Yeah.
how you delegate responsibilities. I feel like that's one personal question I guess I wanted to ask you, because it's like, how can you trust people that they're gonna get things done
Yeah.
in the right way? You get not the
Yeah.
right way, but
Yeah.
at proper timing,
Hmm.
proper quality and stuff like that. How do you deal with that? How
Yeah.
did you learn to be like a boss as
Yeah.
boss?
Yeah. That's a good question though, because I remember going through that when I was hiring my first like full time like team member. And I had those same exact thoughts. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna edit like me. I don't know if they're gonna like do the trends. I don't know if they're gonna understand the creative brief and all
Yeah.
that. But you just have to get out of that mentality that people won't do as good of a job as you. And then one tip is you want to find people who are more skilled and actually do it better than you. So
Mm-hmm.
I would look for people who are like, yo, like they edited this video, like this shit is dope. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do something like that. Or
Yeah.
like I will, when I would do the interview, I would ask them questions like how long would it take you or how many videos? Let me look at your portfolio. And I would kind of gauge them that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to bring people on who are better at you than you doing it yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
that way, there's more of like that trust. Like, okay, like I know they can do it better than me. They can do it faster than me. That's who you want to bring on, right? Because you don't want to bring on somebody that like you have to watch over and then
Yeah.
be like, hey, like you forgot to do this or it doesn't look as good. You want to have somebody who like turns in the project and you're like, oh shit, like this shit is dope,
Oh
like this is
yeah.
fire. So like when I was first like doing that, I just hired somebody. I did a trial run, like a trial test, and it was like, okay, we're gonna be on a trial for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how it goes. And I was figuring all of this in real time, like
Yeah.
how to pay them, like what's gonna be our SOPs, how are we gonna manage our projects, how the communication is gonna be. So there's
Exactly.
different tools and stuff that you use for that, like like different project management tools, like Slack and Monday and Trello, and like you
Yeah.
start like realizing like, oh, this is why these tools
This
exist. Then you
exactly.
start using these tools to communicate, and then as you get more projects, and then also like relationship building, like you start realizing like, oh, why companies have team meetings and why they have one-on-one meetings, because then you start building that relationship with that team member. You understand how they work, like as a creative but also as a person, and then you're able to gauge them, have those conversations, have that communication,
Mm-hmm.
and then you build that trust and you build that working relationship over time, just like with anybody.
Yeah.
So that's how it goes.
Goes.
So I
Yeah.
would say like just dive in.
Yeah.
And there's like different resources you can like look up, like maybe talk to somebody who's already been through
Through
it
it.
to help
Yeah.
you guide you through that process, or YouTube. And then just test them out, see
See
how
how
it
it
goes,
goes.
and
Yeah.
then go from there.
No. See that part.
Yeah.
I feel like that's always been me, where it's like, okay, well, being. I feel like everybody compares, like there's people that are actually meant to be leaders and people that
Yeah.
are just like very bossy.
Hmm.
You get?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, I want to actually lead a team. I don't
Hmm.
want you to be like, oh, Diana's just on me, or like, but it's just like, we need to. I want, like, there's a vision behind this brand.
Yeah.
So talking about brands and stuff like that, what was 24/7 created? Like, why 24/7? Where did the name come about? What's the
Yeah.
mission behind you guys?
Yeah. Okay. So at 24/7 Artists, we believe just that every artist should live their passion 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
So we simplify the business of music through education, products, and courses. So right now we're actually building tech from scratch, and we already have like tools out there for artists. And so our goal is to all over the world to help artists build sustainable careers and their teams. So like
Mm-hmm.
that's where the name comes from, because we want artists to live that passion 24/7. So that's the
Nice.
goal. So like that's why we have different courses,
Yeah.
webinars, workshops. It's free to become a member of the community,
Yeah.
and to just dive in. Like we have free workshops every month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, and it's really like that, giving you that game and that guidance and that mentorship, because I know you've worked with a lot of music artists, and like
Yeah.
if you're a music artist watching this, you are a business, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and that's the reason why music artists go to labels, because you have labels handling all the business, like the payments, like the legal, the structure, like merch, like ticketing, like music licensing. There's so much that goes into it. So once you're a independent music artist, it's like, oh shit, I gotta figure all this shit out by myself. Like, where do
Literally.
I start? What's the best move?
Yeah.
I only got $1,000. What's the best place? Should I get a camera or should I put it towards like music marketing? Should I do?
Yeah.
So there's so much that goes with it. So it's really nice to be part of a community that can be on that journey with you. You guys
Yeah.
can bounce off ideas, share wisdom, and also have like people who are in the industry who have been through that and can help guide you and mentor you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is definitely dope. I definitely do feel like there are like, different brands that bring that, but like I said, I've listened to like some of their workshops, but it's you guys are just different. I feel like you guys genuinely care. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you guys
Yeah.
are willing to give all those tools that are meant for artists. And I feel like a lot of artists don't know that all these things you just named they need to be responsible for that too.
Yeah.
They just think it's the music and here you go, here's my music, now love me right now because I'm best
Right.
rapper ever. You should keep that confidence, but there's work.
Yeah.
It's actual business,
It's so much that goes into it. And so, we want to tell artists that you have to build a team.
Yeah.
You can't do this solo. And so like that's a whole, thing in itself,
Yeah.
how to build a team and
Yeah.
how do you pick a manager and how do you, pick different team members like content team members and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
what's the process of even getting to that point and like
Yeah, when
what
to give it.
skills do I build before I can actually bring somebody onto the team. So
Yeah.
yeah, we go through all that, and then we're very open, and so like as the co-founders and different team members on the team, we always tell the artists like, yo, like DM us, like hit us up, like we'll answer your questions, like we're
Yeah.
here as a resource to help guide you through that.
Yeah.
We're not gatekeeping any information,
Yeah.
and we have like we have a premium membership where we do more personalized mentorships and like more premium courses and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But as far as like what you actually need, like the foundational stuff that you can build on, all of that is free.
Yeah, that's dope. How do you feel about, Megan just actually signed a distro deal with Warner Brothers?
Oh
If
shit,
I'm right.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But yeah.
Yeah, she owns her masters and her publishing. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, that's crazy. Like she
Yeah.
owns it. Like she's not splitting with nothing, like not Warner Brothers or anything like that. Not even
Mm-hmm.
Rock Nation. I was like, is that possible? Is that kind of like a one, like, since you know a little bit about that?
Nah, that's 100%. Like as you build, you stay consistent.
Hmm.
You build your music, you build a content, and you build a fan base. Like the sky's the limit,
Yeah.
But and in business terms, as you're doing that and building yourself up, you're building leverage. So like that's when like these partnerships and business deals come into play.
Hmm.
Let's say I'm an artist, I have a fan base of 5,000 people. I have X amount of music listeners per month. I make X amount of revenue. I have a foundation. I have something going.
Hmm.
Now I can come to like a label or different brands and say, hey, this is what I'm bringing to the table, and then you create some type of partnership and you have more leverage
Leverage.
to actually be able to ask. And so like that's where like building that foundation, staying consistent is important because then you can get to like the bigger bag through these partnerships and through these deals in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, guys, he just put you on game. So if y'all want more and y'all really serious about your music careers, hit him up. Hit up the team 24/7.
Yes,
Definitely
yes.
is where it's at for sure. What's one thing you feel like you want to achieve in the next 4 to 5 years?
Oh, that's a good one. What I want to achieve in the next 4 to 5 years. So I would want to continue building 24/7 artists, make it a leader in the tech and the music space, and so expand it to be global. Right now, we're still building the foundation of the business, so like we want to make sure it's like airtight, and we as a team internally
Mm-hmm.
are building a foundation that can expand and grow
Mm-hmm.
once that time comes. So like the next 4 to 5 years, like continue to build it in a sustainable way
Mm-hmm.
and continue to help these music artists then expand that global for sure.
Nice.
So that's the goal.
What about you personally? What are your personal goals?
Personally,
Yeah.
um I just want to continue living my life in a way that I'm proud of and that's fun for me. So, I'm a very adventurous person.
Hmm.
I believe that you should have fun in life.
Yeah.
I believe that you should go to the own beat of your drum. So as long as I can wake up every day and say, yo, I really like the path that I'm on,
Hmm.
like I'm good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's dope. I definitely feel you. I feel like that's one of my biggest things where it's like I just want to wake up and love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, and not just wake up like, dang, I gotta pay my bills or I gotta, it's just a wake
Right.
up like this is what I was meant to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Live like the best
You
way.
doing it. You doing it.
I appreciate
You
that. I
doing
appreciate
it.
that.
And I just want to say, like, I love everything you have going on.
Thanks.
And like just so the camera can hear it, like that's the reason I hit Diana up because I saw her on social media. I was like, "Yo, this is really dope! Like, I
Yeah.
love the content. I love the conversations that you have with other creatives and other artists." So I
Yeah.
was like, "Let me hit her up. Like, I gotta
I
be on there."
appreciate that so much because sometimes I'll be questioning myself. I'm like,
Uh,
like, okay, like, are we doing good? Where are we at? I'm like, I feel like everything's steady. And as I feel like as a creative, sometimes things are steady
yeah.
and you're like, what do I do next? What can I do next?
Mhm.
And like you said, going back to comparing yourself, it's like,
Mhm.
am I good enough? Like, what we got going on here? Like, what we got to do to spice things up a little, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I definitely appreciate you for your
Yeah.
time.
You got the mindset. You got the mindset.
Thanks. And I feel like that really comes from like being around people like you, being around people creatively,
Mhm.
where you're like, shit, bro, you see everything they got going on? I gotta level up, or like,
Yeah.
it's a good like motivation,
Yeah.
and like, it just keeps you going.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. So especially like I said, you being Latino, I'm like, damn, bro, you did
Yeah.
all
Shout out to
that.
Latinos.
Thanks. Look, talking about Latinos
Yeah.
in
Let's talk
Atlanta,
about it. Let's
it
talk about
right.
it.
It's so hard to come across a Latino in like the hip hop
Mhm.
and like in this cultural stuff. So how do you feel about it? I feel like now slowly Atlanta we're like bumping into a little bit more Latinos
Yeah.
and stuff like that. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like the merge is really
Yeah.
coming soon?
Yeah, yeah, no, I love it. I think it just has to deal with demographics, obviously, 'cause
Yeah.
obviously we can go to like Miami or LA and we'll find a whole bunch of Latino creatives. I think, it's just like Atlanta,
Yeah.
just being in the deep south, it wasn't really like a hot spot for Latinos,
Latinos facts.
but recently, a lot have been coming.
Yeah.
And so just getting that like influx of more Latinos coming to Atlanta, obviously you're just gonna have more creatives,
Creatives. Yeah.
especially the Atlanta creative scene and the Atlanta music scene specifically
Yeah.
was already hot. You know what I'm saying? So like if
Facts.
you're coming into that and being born into that, you're born into that Atlanta culture, so it becomes a part of you.
Yeah.
If you're Latino, you just do it in your own way, and you start
Yeah.
being creative. You get into the scene, different people, and like
Yeah.
yeah. But I love it. So everything like we were talking about this, I love seeing like Latino artists and Latino
Yeah.
creatives in Atlanta and who are from here. Like
Yeah.
I just think that's so dope.
It is because it's like you're really bringing something different. You're literally like shaking the culture and any
Yeah,
aspect of it because you're bringing your
yeah,
culture into something else and getting the
yeah,
best part of it and making your own.
yeah.
It's like, well, here's not my thing.
And it's a great opportunity for Latino artists, in Atlanta to
Facts.
create a new sound or to, come up with something new or to be known, you know, to be known as a Latino artist from Atlanta because there's
Exactly.
not a lot of them known from here. So that's a great
Exactly.
opportunity to be like, yo, like I'm really about to make this shit work. Like I'm from
Yeah.
Atlanta and like really represent for Atlanta as a Latino.
Yeah, and I feel like I was talking to one of my friends, shout outs to Dakari. He was saying that that would be the most legendary shit ever to have a Latino come up from Atlanta. That
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
we got dope
I
ass
see it.
creatives, exactly,
It's gonna happen. I just don't know who it
eventually,
is.
yeah,
You know what I
we don't
mean?
know who it is. Time, consistency. So whoever the Latino is, keep it pushing, bro. You got it,
Yeah.
or sis,
Yeah.
whichever one. But yeah, so I'm excited to see what we got going on as all like creatives in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's really our year. It's
Yeah.
our
I'm
generation
excited.
year too. It's
Yeah.
2024 and it's about to go
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited too. I'm
Yeah,
excited too.
I'm excited. You guys are really new though. I'm still shocked on you guys are really
Yeah.
new. So
Well, I don't know how much time we have. I can say a little backstory
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah. Go
Okay.
for it.
So Yudo and Davina, they are from the DMV,
Okay.
DMV area, and they built a studio. They're called House Studios.
Okay.
And so they built that from the ground up with their team and other partners. But they built it into like a Grammy Award winning, studio. Like they've
Nice.
helped a lot of artists come up and help build their careers,
Yeah.
like Logic, Ari Lennox,
Nice.
artists like that. You to even help. He was on the project To Pimp a Butterfly with K Dot. So they worked with so many artists and like local artists, and then artists who eventually like came up. Another dope artist is Manny Wells,
Nice.
who started his career there at House. And so they built that studio.
Uh-huh.
Then eventually, they sold the studio. They exited out, and then they moved to Atlanta. And so then it was like, okay, well, what was their next thing? Were they just gonna like chill and live
Yeah.
the good life, or did they want to build something else?
Yeah.
And so during that time, while they were building House, they had the idea of 24/7 artists. So that's been an idea that has been brewing for some time. I think it was since 2011, since 2012.
Yeah.
And then, once they moved to Atlanta, it started becoming like a reality. Like they were like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
And, they had like, they were able to bring over 10 years of experience and working with music artists. So like, and like those, that network that they build.
Yeah.
So that helped out, a lot, tremendously with like starting 24/7 artists.
Yeah.
And so like once 24/7 artists became a thing, we were able to bring, some of that community over, some of that network over, and then also like the experience of actually building, a multi-million dollar business
Yeah.
and like building it from the ground up and then like exiting it and like understanding, really knowing what it means to grow a business,
Yeah.
and like building a team and like working with people and working with music artists. So like, that helped out tremendously.
Yeah.
For sure. So like that's the backstory of
Backstory.
it.
And that's dope
Yeah.
because I feel like even in all conversations, it's always the network you build, it's the
Yeah.
community you build, the consistency, and just not giving up.
Yeah. 100%.
That's
Yeah.
it. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Like every interview you watch, those are like the main things.
Hmm.
Just keep it going.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it
It's
sounds
there.
cliche, but hey, like, if you keep going at some point, like it's gonna
It's gonna
happen.
happen.
And then, but I will add to this, like, you can't keep going and doing the same shit over and over. Like, keep going, stay consistent, but then you gotta have the mindset, okay, how can I do this better? What do
Mhm.
I need to work on?
Yeah.
Like, and even from the business side, I really love this quote, that says, work harder on yourself than on your job,
Mm.
because the person that you end up becoming by working on yourself, that translates to every area of your life. And so if you just work on your business, you're not evolving as a person as well. So you
Yeah.
want to make sure you're working on yourself so you can evolve as a person, and that pours into the people around you and also into your business. So I'll add that onto there.
And
Yeah.
see that part. I always, on to be completely honest with you, I feel like I've always was let me work, 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 and never take
Mhm.
time for myself. And
Yeah.
then I was like, okay, hold up, pause. This is still, we're
Yeah.
not moving anywhere. We're still at the same spot. Why are we still at the same spot?
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, take back time. Look at all the interviews. What could you have done better? Your facial reactions. You could have done this better.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
it's a real thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like just hearing that. Like I feel like we missed that part. Work
Hmm.
on yourself first
Yeah.
and the rest will come.
Yeah. Work harder on yourself than on your
Yeah,
job. For
definitely.
sure.
Cool. Well, let's wrap this up. I'm gonna ask a couple questions to get to
Cool.
know you
Let's do it.
quick. All right. When's your birthday?
Birthday is September 22nd, so I'm a Virgo.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite color?
Favorite color? Ooh. I like. I don't have. I'm gonna give you the palette.
Okay.
I like the earth tones.
Okay.
That's my colors.
All
Yeah.
right. Nice. Vibey, vibey. Definitely.
Mhm.
Cool. All right. Do you have like a favorite movie genre?
Man, I love movies. I love content. I just love like consuming movies and like
Okay.
critiquing them and like
Okay.
like I kind of like analyzing the way like how do they make me feel or what did I think about? That's my world. So
Yeah.
that's how I think about it. So I like any genre. The only genres that I don't like watching is like the Exorcist type movies.
Yeah, me either. I don't do those.
Like the those
Mm-mm.
just I'm like yeah I want that shit in my subconscious.
Yeah.
But everything other than that like I'll watch it. Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Cool, cool. Do you have a favorite type of like ice cream you prefer?
Ice cream. I mean,
You're not much of a
you
sweet guy.
can't. I'm not much of a sweet guy, but I like dark chocolate. You can't go
Okay.
wrong with dark chocolate.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't blame you. I don't blame you. All right. If we were to go to your music catalog right now, what do you have on replay?
Replay. Ooh, I got some Eladio Carrion
Okay.
on replay. Um, I've been playing the Cali Uchis album.
Fire.
Shit is fire.
I want to interview her. So she doesn't
Yeah.
really do interviews like that, but I love her. I
Yeah.
love her. She's amazing.
Who else I've been playing? Um, of course, got some Bad Bunny
Classic.
on there. Got some Nipsey Hussle on there. Um,
Nipsey.
who else? I got some Russ on there.
Okay.
Um, and just I listen to
So a
different
little bit
stuff.
everywhere. Cool,
Yeah.
cool, cool. All right. When you hear shaking the culture, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Oh, it's like disruption. Like how are you bringing something new? Like how are you shaking the culture? Like what are you bringing to the table? What new moves? What new plays? Like how is it different? Like that's what comes to mind. Like shaking the culture is like how are you doing something that's outside of the box?
Yeah.
That's not traditional. Like are you just doing the trendy stuff, or are you like building a new path, a new way for yourself?
Yeah.
So that's what comes to mind.
And
Yeah.
that's you guys. I love asking that question because every single time somebody answers it, I'm like, yo, you're hitting it right on the head. Like
Yeah.
what are you bringing to?
I love the name too. It's fire.
Thanks. I appreciate it. But yeah, now it's just like, look, we had to bring people that are literally shaking the
Yeah,
culture and
yeah,
bringing all that to the table, which
yeah.
you and your brand are personally. Like I said, like your brand. I appreciate you once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, me
So
too.
hoping I could come back one day.
Yeah, look, once your team is like, yo, our artist just won a Grammy, and like, you working
Yeah.
with all these people, the next move you guys have, I'm excited for it. Like, say you guys are barely starting,
Yeah.
so I can't just wait to see what you guys do next.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's your social media?
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna plug in 24/7 artists. Follow 24/7 artists on all social media, especially YouTube and Instagram. That's where we're most active. If you want to become a member, it is free. Just go to our page, or you can go to 247artists.com. Check out the community. Hopefully, it'll be of value to you. And then my personal page is at one Kevin Cruz. So you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, all the social medias. Yeah, that's it.
Cool, thank you. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Cool.
And damn well, but be like, what is he up to next? What you got going on?
Hey
And
man,
definitely,
I'm always posting stuff on there.
exactly, be active. That's what you gotta be.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you again. Appreciate you.
Of course. But
All right.
next time, guys.
Peace.
Bye.